everybody, Ame Gakita. Alright, this might be a little bit sad considering I'm gonna talk about this, but at the same time, I'm just gonna let you guys know what's my thought about all of this, as well as I feel like this is not looking good in many ways, because a lot of my view will not be in a positive way, it will be considered a negative way. So alright, just to update you guys, this guy is actually called Ryan Carson, sorry if I pronounce your name wrongly, but the one thing is that he is activities who actually go around trying to make the community a better place, and apparently that the place that he's going about is in New York City, which I consider that one of the which I was told that one of the place that you do not want to go in, so probably I can understand why. And on the other hand, so basically what happened to him is that he was just doing kind of like going for we went to a wedding dinner with a girlfriend at the time, and while bringing her home, sadly he come across a young teenager who was not in his right mind, and he was stabbed. He was stabbed apparently a few times. Apparently, okay, I had no idea how many times, but apparently he was stabbed a few times, and sadly, one of the stab was right into the heart, which means that sadly he had passed away. This Ryan's person, he had passed away, and it's really unfortunate that based on the community statement where a lot of people was praising him, how good the person is, how he's trying to change the world to be a better place, trying to keep the community the place that he live a safer place. But ironically, sorry to pour the cold water, he had passed away while trying to protect community. So here's a few things that I need to highlight, but at the same time continuing that the young teenage was later arrested, and the police had actually kind of like collect the so-called the evidence, including the clothes that the assailant was wearing at the time, as well as the knife that is believed to be the weapon. And it's kind of like the whole situation, the more I look into it, the more it may seem dark to me. So you guys might, if you guys are not into this kind of opinion, I would suggest you guys to stop here and just leave it. I won't stop you guys. But what I will tell you guys is that my take on this might be a little bit too dark. So yeah. Number one, this guy is apparently a left-wing activist. So in a sense is that he might get attacked by the right wing a lot, considering that he's trying to go along something like everyone have a right to have given a second chance, which yes, everyone should help to protect the place, yes. But on the other hand, when you have something like, there may be some people who really require a proper help, and that sometimes people not in their right mind may end up doing something that they will regret for the rest of their life. And that is when we have to address this situation, that I believe that, well, it is good that police have actually caught the activity, the person, the assailants. It's like the video due to the civilian camera that they had managed to capture the person who attacked him. They managed to arrest him quite fast. But the thing is, right, his parents, well, the one thing is that there's a few things that actually got me quite shocked. As the more news I read, the more situation that I was like, this is really not good. Was one of the things is that when I knew the age was stated as 18 years old, charged with murder in a daily stabbing, there's a few things that you guys have to understand that is really kind of disturbing for this whole situation. So the one thing is that the stabbing, when indicating was there any reason behind it, there was none. There was no reason for killing. There was no intention, there was no motive. It just a random step, which justified one thing, like I told you guys. Number one, that thing, never visit America. If you're in America, good luck. Out of nowhere, a stabbing can appear out of nowhere. And this appeared right before another case where a person called Josh Cougar, a journalist, was shot 7 times in the chest inside his own house. And I was like, wow, how unsafe America is. Like, this all news is making, like pointed number one. Like, I've been saying a lot in my live stream too about this, is that this whole situation about America not being safe, it's not about the weapon, it's not about the killing, it's about the safe. How safe is America right now? If you can have a murder right inside their house or right outside in the public where a civilian camera was able to capture the whole situation, this just proves that if I really want to visit America, ain't nowhere I'll be like, if people even pay me $1 million, I will not go there. This just proves to the whole world that an unprovoked and random attack can happen in America. And what are the chances of it happening? Well, I believe that considering that these two situations quite big happened like in the news for within a few days. Yeah, I feel like America should really look into not just gun control itself, but more towards looking how safe is America. The public safeness is the most important thing. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people are saying like, why of other country, like Singapore or Japan, why is it considered one of the safer places in the whole world? Is that people is trusting on the police to take care of them, putting up safety in the public. Public safetyness is the most important thing, and apparently at the moment it's not being shown in US, and I believe that someone should look into that. So number two, number one, I feel like safetyness of America is really questionable. So number two, what is the thing that I want to talk about? This guy, this young boy called Brian Dorin. What actually kind of got me shocked is that despite evidence against him, despite everything that is against him, the age is the one that actually got me the most shocked. Was that he was apparently 18 years old. So the one thing is that out of nowhere, this 18 years old decided to attack, and they actually shown that it was unprovoked attack, which kind of like okay. So here's the question. The question that I'm actually kind of wonder, like, number one, why would he have a knife on him? Like, why? And the thing is, right, he was shouting, what the F are you looking at? So if people look at you and you're not happy, you can get stabbed. Like, that go back to number one, where you can get attacked for apparently no reason. Then number two is that it's every people not in the right mind, it can just go around and attack people out of nowhere. That just make it even unsafe. And also people will be like against me thinking about such a way, but what I'm saying is that people need to rethink about not just the safetyness, but also at the same time the mental health of every people in America. It seems to me that anger management is not just the only thing, but based on what the mental health, the mental stage of the young Brian had at the time in mind, because when he was arrested, they had shown that he was crying. Like he stated that he no remorse. He understand the action, the consequences of his action, and I believe that if he really know how to reform, I believe that even this Ryan Carson person will actually forgive him for the stabbing, which I believe many people would stated that. So, but the one thing is that the question will have lie in that, how is the law gonna forgive this person? So the one thing is that it's really kind of confusing me how the law is gonna deal with him, because it's a murder. If charged and confirmed, he is very likely that he'll be sentenced behind jail and it'll be a life sentence. So it definitely not gonna be look good on anyone. But there was one line that I read along some article indicating that two lives were lost: a young boy who will be sent to jail for life, and a person who can never come back. It's true if that is the case, but the thing is, right, this young boy, 18 years old, going around stabbing, it just proved one thing that I talking about. 18 years old, sometimes people might be lead down the wrong path, and I'm not quite sure who lead him to have a knife on him or go around just stab everyone without a damn care. Like, who was the one who teach him that? I have put into like thinking, like, is it due to family or is it due to scenario or how they were taught about. But there's also another factor that it might be due to the safetyness of the place, which like I mentioned, the safetyness of the place might have actually caused the young boy to have a knife for self-protection. But however, like I always say, a weapon can be used for protection or it can be used to harm others. And in this case, this boy was not using the weapon for self-protection, but it was used as a weapon. So it's sad to know that this kind of thing happened, and it's led me to question what was the mental state of the young little boy at the time. This Brian, what was he thinking when the stabbing appeared? I mean, like, he cried. He knew that he did something wrong, but does he even know the full consequences of his action? That is something that he need to look at it. Which is the reason why I was talking, like, what caused young teenagers right now in America to have this kind of thought? Is it due to environment situation? Was it due to teaching? Or is it due to maybe a lot of people who love to say using games, that playing too much game cause people to have the misconception? Like, game, to me, I will always use is like, game is just game. Movie, it can also be due to movies, it can be due to environment. There's so many reasons, but it's just hard to know what was the mindset that caused him to have that situation. And we can't know what motivated him to do that such attack out of nowhere. So the one thing is that if he's a young boy who need mental health treatment, then there's something that need to be looked into. But I'm thinking, personally, to me, I don't think that's what it seems to me at the moment. It just seems that he was not in the right mind, maybe. But the stabbing had happened. Someone had lost his life. So he get jail or not? Personally, I would say he should get charged and see how it goes. Personally, to me, it's really sad to know, because this is an unprovoked and out of nowhere attack, and which prove that if I really want to visit America, I may have to visit the place as a tourist with a field hut. So yeah, that is the point number 2. The final point that actually got me pissed off, and everyone know that I always leave the last thing that pissed me off or baffled me at the last, is that what caused me to be baffled more than this young little boy was that apparently there was someone who go around indicating that right winger are using Ryan Carson death to fuel a targeted harassment campaign. So basically, just to pinpoint which part of the whole sentence, if true, is that popular pundit like Andy Neal, Matt Wells, and Nick Frontier, which I have no idea how to pronounce their name, but have brought up Carson death, blaming it on the leftism, anti-cop belief, and soft on crime sentiments. Do not use someone death to justify your belief. It doesn't make sense. So the one thing that actually pissed me off was that this attack may appear out of nowhere. It's like I mentioned, it's not soft on crime. It's not about anti-cop belief. Having police does help in a sense, is that if the police know how to keep the public safe as well as to reduce crime, that's good. But not having police mm, is something along the line of like, let the crime rip. We have seen, I mean, I talk about filial PR looping, which cause a lot of problem. But the thing is, right, is it really deserving of not having a cop in America? If there is no cop in America, America will be fallen within the next few days. But solve on crime sentiment, I'm not saying like crime should be taken softly, or which means that I might not agree with the right winger. No, I believe that if like this Brian guy really know his remorse and he would change for the better, that would be good. That mean that he deserves a second chance. But that doesn't mean that he should not be gone unpunished. He has to be punished for his action. He should learn the hard consequences of his action that he knew that he should not have done. And that if he really does reform in the prison or jail, that would be good for him so that he can come out as a better man, and hopefully people will give him a second chance to become a better him. But on the other hand, using soft on crime standard is not a good thing. Is that I can't see why would they say so. The one thing is that what people want in some cases is that they want to use people as a living example. A living example to discourage other people from doing so. So what they mean is to say that if people do not want to end up in jail, if people don't want to end up for something they did, for like end up in something bad they did, like going out to jail or getting killed, let's use him as a living example, which I do not believe should be the case. He should definitely, yes, this little boy should be charged accordingly. He should be prosecuted due to the law. People should remember Ryan Carson for what he did. But using person death to justify their belief, that's not right at all. That's just being selfish. That was the final straw for me, which is the reason why I decided to cover up this. I know you got people normally know me that I don't like to cover this kind of situation, but it's just that I'm just going to tell you guys my belief is that the tree dark thing that is really really dark. This whole situation, it can be prevented if public safety net is in place. But America do not have that in place, so it's sad that this whole thing is happening, and that what baffles me is that a death being used for political mean is just proving to the whole world that people is not. It's how to. I really kind of like shocked to say this, but I'm just gonna say that we humans are not things. Do not use a person's death to justify or for political mean. It should use, if people want to use it as a mean, it should prove to the whole world that this thing had happened and that people should look into helping better the community, keep the safety of the community, ensure the safetyness and the livelihood of everyone, as well as to educate every young people, as well as everyone, how to become a better themselves, not going around holding a knife and ready to kill anyone, or a gun to shoot someone. This should be the message. It's really sad that this whole thing had happened, and America. When people say like God bless America, I mean I'm not an America person, but I hope that God bless those people who have able to be reformed as well as pass away. Have a good day or night. You don't need to like and subscribe, but this is really something that but it will definitely help me. That's it for now.